Priyank, do you want to quickly introduce yourselves in a liner? Dhruv, you'll start.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Dhruv. I work as a senior product manager here at Reelo. Basically, whatever functionalities that Reelo is having on as a platform in terms of features and everything, we are making sure that you find it more useful and more engaging enough to help you get more and more customers keep coming back on your platform. So that is what we do here at Reelo.
Cool. Hi guys, I'm Priyank and I also work as a product manager here, just crafting experiences for you guys and working in order to make some value or some, features in which you can get value out of it, which can in turn increase your business.
Priyank, let's start. It's 3-5. Let's start. You guys can continue adding your questions, your notes on the WhatsApp chat. I'm sorry, on the chat box here. And, we'll answer as and when.
Cool. Let's start.
Yes.
I'll quickly share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Priyank.
Perfect. So, to begin with, we have two major feature updates, which we have released in a couple of weeks now. And now I'll be quickly walking you guys through them. As the festive season is coming, both of them are very essential as a brand to you guys in order to capture your customer details and in order to engage more with your customers there in that front, right? So, quickly starting with the first one. Now we have launched something which is called as instant approvals of the campaigns, which is earlier when you know that if you have your custom header and you used to submit your custom WhatsApp templates for approval, it used to take somewhere around 24 to 48 hours in order to Meta to approve your campaign, right? So now that has been shifted to instant approvals, which you will be getting an update within, let's say, around 2 to 5 minutes, and your templates gets instantly approved, which in turn is very helpful for you if you're planning some last minute campaigns where you want to engage with your customers, run offers at the very last moment, right? So earlier you must miss this timelines because of the approval time taken by Meta, but now since it is very instant, it is a very fluid flow where you can instantly approve the WhatsApp messages and you can select the target audience and shoot out the campaign to your customers. I'll walk you through how can we do that. So in order to use this particular feature, one thing which is mandatory is that you should have your brand's custom WhatsApp business number, and then this would be accessible to you. So if you are someone who do not have your custom headers, then I would request you to switch to that in order to access this feature. Let's see how does this work. You can go to your campaigns flow, select any campaigns that you want to run out. Let's say I want to run a Diwali campaign. Select the particular template. Go next. Everything remains same as it is. The normal flow where you were activating the campaign. Select the channels. Let's say I want to run a campaign on WhatsApp. Configure the discount that you want to send out. Let's say 50% off it is, along with any terms and conditions and the campaign expiry date. Next, design the what creative that would go in your campaign, in your WhatsApp button as a campaign creative. So this you can set according to your brand's preferences. Once you are done, you can click on next. Now, this is the step where you used to draft your WhatsApp messages, right, in order to get it approved. So here, if you are someone who already has a custom header, custom WhatsApp header, then you can click on your brand's WhatsApp header here. Draft a message. You can also take help from Relo's AI in order to come up with some content ideas. Let's say I'm asking AI to provide me with some content for my Diwali campaign. Okay, let me go ahead with the first one itself. I'll add the content here. Once you have added the content, you have reviewed it, this is the final content that you want to get it approved from Meta. Then you can simply go to submit template and click on submit. Now your WhatsApp template along with the header image and media that you wanted to send out will automatically go to Meta for the approval. And once we have a status on your campaign, we'll be updating you automatically over here, right? It usually takes somewhere around 2 to 5 minutes in order to get your WhatsApp message approved from Meta. And you can also click on this fetch campaign status button in order to fetch the updated status for your campaign, right? Earlier, this process was time consuming for you, where you had to get in touch with your CSMs to get an update on your campaigns and all. So entire that process has been removed. It's pretty much instant. Once we get an update from Meta, you will be able to see if it is approved or rejected. If the particular campaign is rejected, then it is very simple. You can again modify the content according to the status of the rejection or the reason for the rejection, and then send for approval again. So it is pretty much 2 clicks in, and you can again resend your campaign for approval. Yeah. So let's say I clicked on that. My template got approved within, I guess, a minute or so. And once it's done, I'll go back to campaign. Now, once it is approved, you won't be able to change anything in the message because this is the content and the media and everything which the Meta has approved, right? What you can do is you can go to the next step. Now select the target audience that you want to shoot out the campaigns to. Let's say I want to send a campaign to a customer who is pizza lover and also male. Okay. I'll go with low spender. So there are no customers. Let's see. Okay. I'll select the customer cohort. You can apply your filters according to your brand's preferences and in according to your target segments. Once you have done that, click on next, send now, and Reelo will recommend you to test your campaign before activating it. So what this will do is this will reduce the chances of failures of your campaign. So let's say even though Meta has approved the particular
Some
message,
responses.
but if there is any 0.1% chance that
Is
your
there any
message can
trouble
fail, then
scanning
you
the
would be
QR?
getting to know that upfront
No,
when you
it
test the
should not
message,
be
right?
there.
So
Not
you
be
can enter
okay.
your
I think we'll go
number
ahead.
where you want to test out this message.
Cool. So once you have
And click on test.
tested this,
One of your WhatsApp
you
marketing
can
credit
simply
would be
go here
consumed,
and
but this
activate the
would give
particular
you
QR
an
code.
assurity that you
You
are
can
receiving the
then
particular
go to
message
the
that you
QR
had
code
approved
performance
and
page
everything
and
is
then check
there
the
in the
insights of
content.
your QR
And
code.
this
If
is what your customers will also
anyone of
receive.
you
So
are,
once you are
finding
assured on
troubles
that
in,
front, you can
getting the
simply
QR
go
code, you can
ahead
scan this QR code as well, the
and
message,
send
right?
this campaign. Done.
So this was
Next,
as simple
so
as
once
that.
you have activated
The
that
entire
particular QR
process
code,
took, I guess, around 2 minutes
you
or
will be
so,
able to see
right?
the number of customers
So
that you
now
have
your
captured from that
campaign
QR code, along with
activation journey has been reduced.
the
The time to
visits
activate has
that
been
if
reduced
they make
significantly
any
over there
visit, and
on
along
that
with the
front.
revenue. So all the
Along with
insights
that,
remains as it
we
is.
also have
Just
one more
that the
enhancement in the campaigns
capturing
itself,
flow of
where
your customer data has
earlier,
now been updated
if
to the
your
WhatsApp
campaign was
flow
instead
approved.
of the landing page
Then,
flow,
if you
right?
wanted to use the
And
same content and the same,
just
reward
to give
details and
some
the terms
context,
and conditions, then you had to
the
go create a
landing
new
page flow
campaign
that we had
and then
earlier
add those
was
details manually over
looking
there.
something
But
of this
now
sort. I'll
we
just
have something
open it
called
for
as
you guys so
duplicate
that you
campaigns,
can
where if you
recollect.
want the same things to be
Yeah.
replicated in a new
So when your
campaign,
customers used
right,
to scan your
then you
QR
can
code, they
simply
were
click here,
landed on this
duplicate the
page where they
template,
had to
and
manually
this would
enter, right?
replicate the
And then
exact
claim the
same
reward.
details
So
that were there in the
this
approved
step, where
template.
it is a
All you
friction
need to
for your
do
customers
is
to give out
everything
their
would be,
information has
will
been
be prefilled over
eliminated.
here.
All
All you
they
need to
need
do
to
is
do now
just
is to
go
just click
and
on send button,
check
and
the
that
message that you
information such
wanted
as
to
name and
send out.
number
So this will
automatically
also
be
be
captured.
captured for
As
you,
you
right?
know, I
So
had
that is the
crafted a message
advantage
for
of
the
this flow.
Diwali.
One
If you want
condition
to do some
here
changes
is
here, you
that
can do
if you
that and
want to
send the
access
template
this
for
particular
approval. That's
feature,
it.
you will
So
need your
you just have to
brand's
review here once you
custom
duplicate it, right?
WhatsApp business number.
You can
And
duplicate
then
your
only this
approved as
would
well
be
as your
available to you,
rejected
right?
templates. And
This
There
makes
can be
again
n
the
number of
process
use
of
cases
creating
here.
campaigns
So
very
if
easy for you.
you want to place out
Moving
these
to the next
smart QRs
update,
on
which
your
is
restaurant
we
tables,
have
where
launched
let's say
something called
earlier if
as
five
WhatsApp
customers were
QR codes
visiting
or
your
WhatsApp
place,
smart QR
but
codes, right?
only
Where
one was
earlier,
taking
if
the
you
bill out of
remember, the
the group, right?
flow
Then
was
you
that
were
your customers
capturing
used to
only that
scan your QR
particular
code and
customer's
they were redirected
details,
to a
right? But
landing
now
page
with this
where they had to
particular
enter
QR
their
code, you
name and
can
number,
place it
right? But now,
in the center of the
in
table.
this particular
All
flow,
the group
when
of
a
five
customer scans
can
your
scan
QR
that
code, they
particular
would be
QR code
redirected to your
and
brand's WhatsApp
give out their
business
details, right?
number,
So you will be
where all
capturing
they
the
need to do
maximum
is
amount
just
of
send a
customer
pre-filled
details via
message,
this
which is
particular
already
QR
there
codes.
in the input box.
You can
And in return, we will
use this
automatically
particular
capture their
objective
name,
if
name and
you
number from there,
want to,
and they would
make
be
online
getting the reward
menu
message
cards
instantly.
for your
So
customers. So QR
let's
code
see
menus
how
for
to
your
create
customers.
this kind of QR codes.
All you have to do is
You can
select
select any
the
particular objective from
menu
here.
objective from the QR code
Let's say I want to
page.
create a QR code
Name your
for an
QR
event which
code,
is
go
coming.
next.
I just name might
In
be
my
taken.
city,
Let's say
it's a food
I edit
event.
the name, and I want to capture
Yeah.
maximum amount of
So
customers from there,
once I
right?
have
So
named my QR code, just
there are n
move
number of
forward.
use
Now
cases where
here
you
you'll
can use
again
this particular
be getting
QR
this
code.
option.
You can
Right?
place this
Select
QR codes on
WhatsApp
your
as the
restaurant
option, and
tables,
then if you see
and
here,
capture the customer's
select
data from there,
menu link as
or
the
you can
option
use
if
it
that
for
is
some
one of your
events.
case,
I
right?
don't
This is
know.
a
There are n number of
third party
objectives
link
there.
that you will have to provide.
So
If you
let's say
already have a
now,
web
if
page of your
you go
menu,
forward, there
then
are
you
two
can
options
simply
in
append
which you
that
can
particular
capture your
URL over
customer
here.
data, right?
If
One
you
is the
have
WhatsApp
PDFs
QR
made of your
via
menu, then
WhatsApp,
you
which is
can
the newly launched
upload
feature,
your PDF
and
here
the
and
one
we'll
which
make a
was via
landing
landing
page
page,
which was
right?
already
So
existing
anything
once
can be
in
done
in
in
all the
say
QR
I
codes,
already have a
right?
link to my
You can
menu.
select
I
via
am just
WhatsApp,
writing it
and as
here,
you can see,
right? Your customers would be sending you a pre-filled message, and in
now if I
return,
go next,
a reward message will
again
automatically
you will
go
have
to
to
them,
draft the message
right?
that your
Let's say
customer
I
will
select this
send you,
particular message,
as
I'll go
in
to next step.
once your customer scans, they'll be
Decide the
redirected
reward
to
that you want to
WhatsApp.
give out
They'll
to
be
your
sending you
customers.
this
Let's
message,
say
and in
all the
response, now if you
customers
see
that
here,
come in
you
my
will be
event, I
sharing
want to
them the
offer
link
them
of
a
your
flat
menu. So
20% off
what is
on their
happening
first
here is
visit.
that
So
anyone who
that's
is
the reward.
viewing your menu,
Add
right?
any
We are
terms and
capturing those
conditions that you
customers'
want.
details as
So
well.
I, let's
Earlier,
say,
it was
want to
not possible
capture
with
the
this
details
particular
of
flow. My new
everything,
customers,
where
as
you
well
can
as I
capture
want
the
to reward
customer's
my
details
existing
is
customers who
possible.
visit that
So
particular event.
possibly now,
Once
so
you have
I'll select
captured
that
those new
option,
customers or
select any terms and
acquired
conditions
their
that you
details,
have.
you can then
Once done,
retarget them
click
by
on next to
sending
proceed,
some.
campaigns out to
Now,
them,
on this
or
step,
you can,
this
tag
is
them
where
in
you can
the
draft the
tag
message
automatically
that
gets
you
attached here.
want your
So you
customers
can
to send
filter
out them
to
via
you,
tags, and
right?
then when they scan the
Do
particular
some
QR
targeted
code.
marketing over
So
there,
how the flow
that
would
front,
be?
right? So this
Your
is again
customer
one
would
of
be
the
scanning the
use
QR
cases
code.
where you can
They would
use
be
this particular
redirected to
QR
your
code
brand's WhatsApp
for your
number,
restaurants.
and in their input
I'll
box,
just
this particular message will
move
be
away
pre-filled, as you
from
can see here.
this. So I
Now you
guess,
can
yes,
customize
this
this message
was
according
the
to your preferences.
particular
It's a
feature
free
for the
text message
QR code
that you can
WhatsApp,
write, and
and
the
character
next
limit would be
last
up to
thing
500
is we
words.
have made
So
some
I would
changes
keep
in the
it as it
invite
is,
team
that
member flow, which was,
my customers
released
should
a
ask
couple of
me
months
that,
ago.
hi, I want to
We have
claim a special
added
gift at
some
Antara's
extra
Kitchen.
permissions here in order to make
Next
your
thing would be
you can also
access
draft the
which you have
message that
given to
would
your
go
invited
to
team
your
members
customers
more
in
secure.
secure
So
and
let's
more
say your
foolproof,
customers have
right? Clicked
so
on
let's say
send button
you
option.
invite your team member,
Send
the
message
flow
option.
remains
Once
exactly
they
the
do
same.
that,
You
they will
select
instantly
the
receive this particular
role
reward
that you
message
want
in
to send out
response, an
that
invite to
whatever you have
add their
drafted over
name.
here.
Let's
Say
say
I
you are
want
free to draft a
to
text message here
invite
as well.
Reelo
Up you can draft a message up to 1,000 characters here.
gmail.com,
Once
add
done,
their
you can click on next
email ID along with the mobile number.
and select the stores that you have. If you are a multi-outlet user, then you would be getting an option to select the stores at which
And
the
a password.
QR code reward would be redeemable.
Now
Moving
proceed
forward, you
forward.
can also
Here you
all
can
this
select the
thing
number of
remains same
stores.
as it is, which was
Now
there
earlier
earlier.
there
You can
was
select the
no
reward
way where
expiry
you
date
could
along with
give
the
the
reward reminder if you want
permission
to
of
send
the
out,
WhatsApp chat feature to
and
your team
the
members,
channels
right?
for the
But
reminder
now we have added
communications.
it as a permission where if you
Next
allow,
would
then
be
only
to
this
design
particular
the
WhatsApp
QR code
chat
feature
success
will be
page.
available to your
So
team
in the
members, or
message
else it
that
will
goes
not be
out to your
available.
customer, the
And
reward
since
message, there
WhatsApp
would be a
chat
QR
is
code
a
link.
group level feature, box on
So
which if your
if you are
customers
someone
click, they
who
would
is a
be able to, they
multi-outlet
would be
user,
landing to
then you
this
will have to
particular page,
select
which
all
is called a
stores as an
QR code
option here
success page, right?
and then
Where
click on
all
next
the
in order
details
to
regarding your
see the
brand would
WhatsApp
be
chat
displayed, the
permission over
expiry
here.
date of the
So
reward would
now
be
you can go to
displayed, the reward
WhatsApp chat
details, terms and
and
conditions, everything would be
can
displayed,
leave
right?
a reply to your
You can design
customers'
this
queries from the
page
WhatsApp
according
chat.
to your
So you
brand's
can select
preferences,
yes,
select the
no
color,
here,
text color, everything.
and based on that, the permission will
You can
automatically be
add
updated
your
in your
website information,
team
Zomato,
members
Google
account,
Maps,
right?
everything
If you have
here.
already
Once
invited
done,
your team members, then you
once you
can
are
simply
satisfied
go
with
and
the
update
page,
those
go to
permissions
next.
as well. That is also available. Here
Another
you'll be able to
permission which is
see all
added
the QR
here is
code
in the customer
creatives in
insights, where
which
if
you
you
can use in
want to
order
give
to
out
promote
access
this
to, let's
particular
say, your
QR
store
code. You have
managers,
multiple
right?
options
Where you do
available.
not want them
Posters,
to
stickers,
see the sensitive
social
information of your
posts,
customers,
QR code
sensitive
only, right? If
informations
you
as
just want
in
to
get
the
their
QR code and you can design your own
their
custom
email ID,
creative,
their
that is also
number,
possible.
their birth date,
So
anniversary,
yeah,
or something of
you
that sort,
can
right? Then
design your
you
creative from
can
here.
decide
Once you
that
are
from
done,
here.
click on
As you
next to
can see
proceed.
here, earlier there's
So
information
now
if
I would
you
like you guys
click on yes,
to,
then this
scan
would
this
be
particular
displayed to
QR
them,
code in
where
order
it
to
consists of
experience
all the informations
how your
right from the
customers would
number
be
to their
experiencing
the entire flow here.
birthdays,
If
anniversaries,
you guys
emails,
can,
everything.
and
Take
if you click on no, then this
take
would
your
be
phones
simply
out and
masked
scan
off
this
in their
particular QR
particular
code.
account. So they will not be able to see this
Shruti, we
information.
can have
And
have the
now if
answers
you
in the
further
chat
restrict
if they
them
have,
to export those particular
got
data,
a
so this
reply
now
from
becomes a
the
proper
brand, right?
solution where
From the
Yes.
QR code.
you do
Yes.
not let
Just
your
drop in the
store
chat
owners
whether
get
you
the
have,
details of your
received the
customers
reward message
out
or
from
not.
Reelo by any possible ways, right? Neither they can see it on the product, nor they can export this detail. So everything is now in your hands in order to design the access of your team members, right? Once done, you can just go and update the permissions, and then that would automatically be updated. That was a small enhancement for invite team members. And yes, I guess we are done with that. Further, I guess Dhruv would be taking you guys on the campaigns recommendation part.
Thank you so much, Priyank. So yeah, I feel it was very helpful with considering this festive season coming. We have enhanced like core features like campaign creation, like in campaign creation journey, where you will where you will no longer have to like wait for uh, getting your template approved like in a particular queue or something like that. So it will get approved in a minute's time. So that is one thing that we have added, which will help you like create amazing campaigns and send it quickly. Secondly, the major feature which will be very much easier for you to like have it in place in your outlet, which could be a big enhancement that we did in the QR. So with QR code, you will be very much easily collect your customers' data as Priyanka has explained on the WhatsApp. So yeah, Krishank. So Krishank has, I guess, asked the question on. Just a minute. Krishna, yeah, ask the question on how the like the data would work. So as soon as the user will scan the QR on their on their mobile, they will be redirected to the like WhatsApp chat of your brand's header, and over there they can directly like send the message. And once they send the message, you will like get that particular customer's name and number as a as listed as potential customer and Reelo. So that is one thing. Apart from that, we have like all the like minor enhancement that Priyanka has explained. We have a major thing coming up which is related to campaign recommendation. So before that, I would like to understand uh, among all of us, like whatever, like let's say we have so many attendees. I do like to understand how exactly we are utilizing the like targeted how exactly we are making the target market like some sort of how exactly we are like crafting our audience for like each and every campaign. So let's say if we have to send few campaigns to certain customers, so are we using filters? Are we using like some Excel, or are we using any tools that is helping you like target your customer in an effective way and targeting? Yeah. So Shruti might be asking. Yeah. Okay. So target your customer in an effective way where you will be able to see these many customers are something whom I should target in order to get the maximum result out of them. So is there is it anything that we can like put on chat where we can discuss on whether the targeted marketing is working for you? Okay, Krishang is asking for the advanced cashback rollout. Have been waiting. So Krishang, advanced cashback is already there. Priyank, if you can like share few glimpses on that.
Sure. So advanced cashback is already there in our testing phase, where we are just doing some final QA around that, and we'll be probably rolling that out in next 1 to 2 weeks for all the users.
Great. Cool. So basically, the next feature which we are talking about is related to campaign recommendation, right? So we have so many requests coming from our users that we have, let's say we have 1 lakh customers data. We have, let's say, there are certain brands who has more than 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 10 lakh customers data. So whenever they have to send campaign, they cannot send it to all, right? So they need a curated list of audience whom they can share particular agenda out of which they can get certain amount of audience keep coming in order to have better results out of those particular campaigns. So let's say if I want to share something like if I'm coming up with certain new items on my menu, so I cannot send the entire I cannot send all these customers with I cannot bombard basically to all the customers related to this particular agenda. So I need to understand which items are working among which type of customers, right? So let's say there are let's say out of 1 lakh customers, there are 10,000 customers who are experimenting with my particular menu items or which are taking really good amount of help when it comes to just a minute, I'm getting certain things. Yeah. So if we have to curate certain audience out of let's say we have so many customers, and as I said, we have so many customers and we have to curate certain list out of it. So it will require some sort of data analysis. It will require some sort of filtration, or it will require some sort of understanding that which customer I should be targeting for which kind of agenda. So that is exactly what we have created with campaign recommendations, and that is exactly what I will be sharing. Just a minute. So yeah, Priyank, is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yeah.
Dhruv, it is.
Just a minute. Cool. So basically, let's say we have 10,000 customers data, and out of those 10,000 customers, we hold different type of behaviors when it comes to when it comes to their visit, when it comes to their preferences, when it comes to their spending habits, when it comes to their how let's say how frequent they are, right? Accordingly, we have to target them. Accordingly, we have to make them understand that. Whether a particular type of campaign would work for these audiences or not, right? So let's say out of these 10,000 customers, Reelo has helped you understand that there are more than 2,700 customers which are first time visitors, which might not have come for the very second time, and which is having a trait of having higher AOV. Let's say your store AOV is somewhere around 900 rupees, but these customers are somebody who has on an average spend around let's say 1,200 or 1,300. So these customers are something are are the group of customers which holds a really good amount of value when it comes to making them retain with your brand, right? So in order for a brand to target this customer is very much important. In order for a brand to making them regulars, making them keep coming back is very much important. So when you look at your data on a tabular form or on a sheet format, you will not be able to figure out whether which customers are very much important for me to target for which kind of campaign. So that is exactly what we are trying to solve with this particular feature. We will tell you that how many which kind of different agendas we have, which kind of audience you have that you can serve with this particular offering, right? That is exactly what campaign recommendation is. That is exactly what we are trying to solve. So you don't have to send all the sort of offerings to all the sort of customers. We are curating certain audience for you. We are curating certain rewards for you, which you can share among these customers and get the maximum benefit out of it. So over here, it is not just targeted marketing, but it is having a higher return on investment. Let's say if you're putting 10,000 rupees as a budget for a week's promotion, how to utilize those 10,000 rupees in an effective way where you will be able to fetch the maximum out of it. Let's say if you're sending a campaign to 10,000 customers investing 10,000 rupees, you may be getting around let's say 20 or 30,000. But in order for us to send multiple campaigns to multiple, similar cohorts and get, let's say, 50,000 out of it is something what we are working on. Is something what the campaign recommendation is based upon on. So this is exactly what we have done. We have curated so many audiences for that. This is not something which will be similar in all the accounts. This is very much dynamic. Each and every data type, each and every recommendation you see will be different for different kind of users. So we will be understanding at the back end with certain machine learning algorithms that which kind of audience you have, which kind of trait your audience are carrying, and how to target them to get the maximum benefit out of your campaign that you send. Right. So this is just an example of it. Another example could be, let's say, these are 89 first-time visitors who did not try your bestseller. So this is another audience. This is another set of insight that we are providing. Let's say we are saying that out of these, out of all the customers, who might have visited for the very first time, 900 of these customers might have visited your outlet but haven't had your bestseller. So your bestseller is something, let's say your bestseller is, let's say, a marinara pizza, right? So they might not have tried that thing, so they might not have got that much amount of value out of it, right? So they might not have had that delighted experience. So that is one data point to look at. Once you have an understanding that these 900 customers are somebody whom we should be targeting to get them repeat and to offer, let's say, certain sort of discount on your bestseller. Let's say I'm offering 50% discount on my marinara pizza. You can have it. All these 900 users, all these 900 customers, and it will help them to re-engage with your brand and make them keep coming back. So that is exactly what the agenda with campaign recommendation is. There can be multiple agendas. There can be multiple some sort of insights. Let's say these are 3,400 customers who might have missed your bestseller. So these are the all customers who might have lapsed. So let's say there are customers who might have visited your brand for third or fourth time, but till now they might not have had your bestseller. So these are the kind of insights what we are trying to give. So these are just basic example of it. Some other could be let's say out of your 10,000 customers, 60% of your customers are below EOV, so they might not be spending up to the mark. In order for you to improve the average order value for these customers, you can send out certain certain communication which helps them make their order sizing more, right? So that is the agenda we carry with this particular feature. Let's say if you let's go much deeper into this particular feature. Let's say there are 2,700 first time visitor who might have higher AOV. So in order for you to make decision whether to send this campaign or not, we are helping you with certain sort of insights that let's say these 20% customers are having high AOV. So this is what we are trying to say here. Let's say your all of your customers are having this much amount of order average order value, and these customers whom we are suggesting is having more AOV. So this is one reason for you to target them. If we talk about total spend, that this much amount of revenue they might have generated, as compared to other first time visitors. So you can say that this accounts for 70%. So first is you have to target the first time customers. But even if we go deeper, into that, you want to target only those first time customers who has given you more amount of value in terms of revenue, in terms of AOV or everything, right? So that is another insight what we are trying to provide. So let's say there is another insight for bestseller. We are seeing that 60% of these users might not have had your bestseller. So over here we are clearly seeing that 40% of these customers are not somebody who might have tried your bestseller, which holds a really good amount of potential to become the retained customer of your brand. So that is something what we are trying to play here with. So we will give you certain data points which is helpful for you to understand why this particular group of customers is helpful for you to target. And at the end, once you decide on targeting these customers, what exactly you are planning trying to achieve. So you are trying to achieve, you are trying to reclaim the raw revenue that these customers might have given you by targeting them, by making them coming back, visiting again. These are the customers whom you can make your regulars and get the most out of it, right? So this is the kind of recommendation what we are creating here at Reelo. This is the kind of experience what we want to give you. We would love to have your insights on the same, because this is the feature which we are rolling out as a beta version. Based on what data you have, we will be coming out with so many similar insights, and we want to understand from your end whether these insights are helping you create more targeted campaign which can help you achieve more revenue out of it or not. So this is campaign recommendation what we have created. On top of this, we are suggesting just audience and the time at which time you should be targeting your customer. So that is the first layer of it. Secondly, we will be coming up with so many other recommendation which could be which kind of reward you should be giving to these groups that we create, which kind of content should work for these customers, which kind of discount type should work for these kind of customers. So this is the entire intelligence what we are building here at Reelo. And based on that, you will be able to see whether these recommendations, whether these insights are helpful for your brand or not. So yeah, that's it. This is this is very exciting for us to showcase this particular feature, because before building this, we have had a word with more than 20 users, and they had a really good insight. They have helped us curate the best experience out of this. We would love to hear from you whether you like this feature or not. So Shruti can put a waitlist link in this particular chat box. You can put your contact. We will be get in touch with you. We will be understanding how exactly you are curating an audience for each kind of agenda, and how this campaign recommendation can help you get the most out of your campaigns. So that's it, I guess. We would love to hear your views, and that's it about the webinar. I feel you have had a great time understanding these features and how you can get the most out of it. Yeah, that's it, Shruti.
There's a question, Dhruv. Raman was asking, what's the difference between sending a campaign through WhatsApp personally and sending through the Reelo software?
Reelo like on Reelo, you can utilize three channels. You can send through WhatsApp, you can send through SMS, and you can send through emails as well. So sending through WhatsApp is similar. Once you have a Reelo's header, or sorry, once you have your custom header, your brand's header, or if you want to share with Reelo's header, you can create campaigns and send it to your all of your customers. Either could be either of the header which you want to use.
And on top of that, the insights that you would be getting after running the campaign, right? The delivery report, along with that, the performance of your campaign, the visits, the revenue that you make, the ROI on that, and along with that, the campaign recommendations, right? Here you can achieve a targeted marketing. That is, you can Reelo automatically recommend a set of cohort for you in order to shoot out the campaign, where you don't need to work or you don't need to do the heavy lifting of thinking about the audience that you want to target. So that all is provided in Reelo, which you would not be getting if you send it personally via some WhatsApp bulk messaging or something of that sort.
How is ROI calculated of a campaign? Asks Madhuri.
So ROI is basically that is something what we are building here at Reload. ROI is something basically which is related to how much amount you're spending on each and every each and every channel that you're sending the campaign to, versus how much amount you're getting in return as a revenue out of it, right? So the number of users that the number of customers visit your outlet, uh, how much amount they are spending as a part of that campaign in that particular week. Let's say you might have sent a Navratri campaign from 3rd of October to 11th of October. So in between that time, how many people might have received? So out of 10,000 customers, you might have shared this particular campaign with 5,000 customers. So whether those 5,000 customers out of those 5,000 customers, let's say 500 might have visited your outlet during this Navratri time, and they might have spend around 50,000 rupees, right? So you have you targeted these 5,000 customers, you have invested around 5,000 rupees, and you got somewhere a revenue of 50,000. So that could be an ROI which you can calculate on a meta on a very brief level. But on a meta level, if you want to calculate, there are other metric as well which you can look into when it comes to providing discounts, when it comes to providing so it totally depends upon the reward type that you're sharing. You may be sharing some free items, you may be sharing certain discounts. So over there, another layer of ROI can be calculated when it comes to these kind of offerings.
Madhuri, I'm not clear on your question. Can you repeat? She says, does it consider the discount given in ROI?
I got the question, Shruti. So
Okay.
basically, what Madhuri is trying to say is the right now the insights we here at we have on Reelo is not something what would drive you to calculate your ROI in such fashion. Currently, we are building some advanced level insights of your campaign. When you do the campaign, how many customers are getting those campaigns, how many of them are engaging with your brand, how many of them are giving you certain revenue. So that is the first layer of insights that we have already built on the platform. In order to calculate ROI, there are certain other metric that comes into the picture, which are there are certain third party third party dependencies as well. So that is something what we are working on, and in in a very short period of time we will be able to deliver that kind of insights where you will be able to calculate good ROI when it comes to providing certain discounts or free items or anything, right? So over there, you will be able to fetch whether the the campaign performance is working well for you or not.
Thank you. Dhruv, Priyank, you had some questions that you wanted to discuss.
Sure. So I just wanted to know from you guys that how what is your customer acquisition channels at the moment? How are you capturing new customers? So that we can think about a solution just by using our smart QR codes where it can provide the value to you, uh, especially in this festive seasons, right? Where you will be having high footfalls and you might miss on capturing the customer data. So just curious, what are the customer acquisition channels at the moment that you guys use?
Raman had a question. Campaigns can be run in festive season, but what about when it's a non-festive season? Does sending campaigns help in generating revenue for a longer time? Does this not look like spamming customers with campaigns in which only few might be interested?
Yeah, I believe sending campaign should not be restricted to just festivals, uh, because festival think of sending campaign as an agenda. Think of sending campaign as something like to get something out of it, right? So when you share relevant content to relevant audience at relevant time, so that would not classify as spamming. I would so that would not classify as making them uh, making them or sharing them something with them which is not relevant to them, right? So let's say as a brand, if I want to target customers that might not have visited since last since last 6 months, and if I'm sharing certain items which they might have had earlier or which they might not have had, and I'm sharing that this is something this is something what you might like at my outlet, and you can get this thing on a particular discounted manner. So that would help you get an attention, or that would help you get your brand on the top of their head whenever they want to in or these kind of communication can influence their decision making whenever they are looking for similar services like yours, or let's say restaurant or business like yours, right? So that is what we are trying to achieve with the campaigns. So festive is just an agenda. Let's say your second agenda or your another agenda could be you want to invite people to try your new items which are which got newly introduced in your menu item. So you will target those customers who has done multiple who has who bought few items in a very experimental manner. So you will target these kind of customers in order to get more reviews out of them, and you can offer certain discounts or certain rewards that influence or that make their visit much stronger when it comes to their decision making, whether they want to attend, visit the brand or not.
Just adding to what Dhruv said, spamming would be if you send a campaign every time to every audience, right? To all your customers, which Reelo never recommends. So whenever you do a very set targeted marketing to a fewer cohort and very target audience that you have, you can also customize the rewards for those different set of cohorts. That's when the message does not feel like a spam, rather a more welcoming note for them where they feel very valued that, this brand values me and, is sending me a communication on that one. So,
Yes,
Uh,
Raman, can you?
yeah,
Yes,
Priyanka, I'm audible.
yes, you are.
Actually, on that note, only I want to ask a question. How do you disintegrate between the customers? For example, one are the premium customers who like to order. One are the customers who have not ordered what you say from last 1 month, and they would be customers who have not ordered from last 6 to 12 months. So how you do you disintegrate in sending the campaign and what you say? How will you in how in the Reelo software there would some what you say there would be some area in which we can disintegrate the customers also according to the uh, what you say on the age or anything like that.
Raman, if you
I
can,
hope I hope my question was okay. To be able to understand what I was going to ask.
so when you say disintegrate, you mean to add filters on your so I'm not exactly understanding the disintegration term.
मीन्स अभी जो भी क्वेश्चन पूछा मेनली उसी के बारे में पूछना है कि ऐसे कस्टमर एक तो है जो आपके रेगुलर आ रहे हैं.
Correct,
There is one, then there is another set of the customers who have not come from last 1 to 3 months, and there would be another set of customers who have not come from last 6 months.
correct.
तो इसको ये अगर डाटा मेरे को अगर अलग अलग करना है या मेरे को अलग अलग उनको कैंपेन्स भेजने हैं फॉर कमिंग बैक, तो उसके लिए कुछ रीलो में ऐसा कुछ है उसके प्रीफेस में या उसके उसमें कि जब सेंडिंग कर रहे हैं तो मतलब हम डाटा अलग कर लें. मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मेरे को कस्टमर अलग ही करने हैं, मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू समझो, जैसे ब्रॉडकास्ट लिस्ट होती है व्हाट्सएप में, उसमें आप एक ब्रॉडकास्ट लिस्ट में एक अलग से वो बना देते हैं. ऐसा कुछ
Hmm.
है इसमें
Yeah.
इन विच.
So recommendation is something which is different from this thing. Recommendation is something के जो set of customers जो काम करेंगे. But what you are asking is exactly what we have in our smart groups, right?
या
So let's say आपको कुछ ऐसा एक ग्रुप बनाना है कि जो customers 30 days से लेके 90 days के बीच में नहीं आए हो, right? तो
हम्म.
so you just add those things. You just add such kind of rules in your smart group and that group will get created. तो वो dynamic group होगा. Let's say if
हम्म.
I am somebody who lies under that particular criteria, तो मैं अगर वो group में हूँ and if I'm making the visit again, तो मैं वो group से निकल जाऊंगा, right? So
हम्म.
whenever you want to target such kind of customer, तो आपको वही group मिलेगा और वही group को आप target कर पाओगे. So that is already
हम्म.
there. Smart group, if you open the customer insights, you'll be able to find the feature and you can make group according to your wish. So आपने जो भी बताया that is a visit based. आप इसमें और भी बहुत सारे filters ऐड कर सकते हो. इट कुड बी रिलेटेड टू हाउ मच स्पेंड दे माइट हैव मेड. इट कुड बी रिलेटेड टू व्हाट इज देयर आइटम प्रेफरेंसेस और सब कुछ, राइट? So
हम्म.
once you open the smart group, you will be able to explore each and everything, and these dynamic groups will get created. तो आपको जब भी ये ऐसे सारे ग्रुप्स को टारगेट करना है जो इस पर्टिकुलर रेंज में लाइक कर रहे हैं, तो यू विल बी एबल टू टारगेट वेरी मच इजीली.
फॉर एग्जांपल आई हैव अ पिज्जा टेक अवे ब्रांड. And now, while running these campaigns during the festive season, I see if I compare, अगर मैं compare करता हूँ with other premium brands also, they would be sending also some campaign like that. तो एक जब वो वापस आने का रीऑर्डर का एक जो सिस्टम है, तो उसमें मतलब जनरेटिंग इन द टर्म्स ऑफ जनरेटिंग रेवेन्यू आई एम सेइंग, क्योंकि मैं भी टारगेट कर रहा हूँ उन्हीं कस्टमर्स को, एंड दे मस्ट बी टारगेटेड बाय अदर कस्टमर आल्सो ऑन द कंपटीशन, यू विल से. So how will my campaign would be different from them? That's the question I want to ask. That came to my mind.
Hmm. So
मैं
now
क्लियर
we are,
ध्रुव ध्रुव मैं बात आपको मैं क्लियर कर पाया? What I want to
yeah.
मतलब एक
So so right now, if I'm getting in a correct way, right now you're talking about the content strategy, if I'm not wrong, right? So
yeah
let's say,
context yeah
yeah, yeah. So uh, let's say if like beside your brand there is this brand called Avan Story, right? There is this brand called like different like cloud kitchens are operating. So
yeah
how exactly you want to distinguish your messaging or your like content play as compared to these brands? That is
yeah
what you're asking, right?
yeah
Correct, correct. So, for this, what I would suggest is that we have tried to cover like a glimpse of it in Write with AI. So if you
hmm
open, जैसी information आपने आपके WhatsApp header में डाली होगी ना, so we have fetched few data from your WhatsApp header, right? कि आपके एक
okay
brand का messaging होता है, आपके एक brand का communication होता है, which is like which is visible for your which is visible to your customer through your WhatsApp header. तो आपने जहाँ पे वहां
okay
पे जितनी भी इंफॉर्मेशन डाली होगी, we fetch those information and create some sort of campaign which is very much relevant to your brand's tone. तो आप जब भी ब्रांड का टोन आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हो और जब भी ब्रांड का टोन डिफाइन कर रहे हो ना, तो वो सारी चीजें वी आर ट्राइंग टू ऐड इन योर लाइक कंटेंट व्हेन यू क्रिएट कैंपेन विद राइट विथ एआई.
okay
Right. So that is how you can help. That is how you can add the essence of your brand into your messaging. But how to keep it separate from the competitors and something is a very interesting topic for us. We would like to brainstorm on this, and we can take your help. Like coming like whenever we think of having this thing in place. So this is a very
just
nice use case, and we would like to have
yeah
like support.
just for example I ask one question. So for example I do not have if I'll say in my area two competitors buy your Reelo software. We are supposing a situation, and almost the customers are the same. If I will say, no, I will say the 50 to 60% of the customers are the same. I am in Italian cuisine, and the second person also in Italian cuisine. Both of them buy your Reader software, and now both of them are targeting through their campaigns. So this was my main question. Previous question I was saying, aren't we spamming our customers? How do you create that is that campaign that it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a spam. मतलब वो कस्टमर को ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि यार ये क्या इनका मैसेज आता है, जरा वो इसका भी आता है उसका भी आता है. That's the main question I want to ask.
So here in Reelo, right, we have
Yeah.
instead of customer filters, if you see, right, so from where you can get an idea of who your loyal customers are in the first place. Loyal as in,
Hmm.
you can figure out that, how frequent are they visiting to your brand, मतलब from their visits and all. So एक आपको idea आ जाएगा कि okay, this is the group जो even if you don't send them communications, they keep on coming to your brand, right?
Hmm.
Further, you can filter down based on the items that they have purchased. Okay, this is the cohort, and then they purchase this particular item in specific and for this number of times. So from there, you will get an idea that okay, this particular group likes, let's say, one of your item from the menu. So then, if you apply this filter and then send them a targeted message, right? Then
Okay. Okay.
it is for sure that they would visit you. And if you, let's say, you are launching something new on that particular
Hmm.
region, so from the items data, you can figure out that, okay, now let's say this five customers have purchased an item which is very similar to something which I am launching new. So let me target those five and not the entire 100 which you have. So that five,
Hmm.
you have a higher possibility of that five customers visiting your brand, right? So there are different set of combinations that you can, apply in the customer filters as well, which would help you achieve this target set of marketing. Further, I guess Dhruv can add a point.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So, Raman, do you have any other questions?
No thanks.
Okay, lovely. So I think we'll end this here. We'll share the recording of this with you by the end of today. And yeah, any other questions, please reach out to us. And please look forward to most of these webinars. We're going to have one product update webinar every month where we're going to do a review of all the features that I've released, and we're going to explain it to you better in person, and you can ask questions and clarify your doubts on to how to best use these features. Thank you so much for your time today. Any sort of feedback, anything, please do reach out to us. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Dhruv. Thank you, Priyank.